A battle for division supremacy. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got 1 versus 2 in the AFC East, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins as they get set to square off against the New England Patriots. With that, let's head on up to Foxborough. Standing by with the call at Gillette Stadium, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
Stop right there. Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his first look is incomplete. Gronkowski unable to hang on. That'll bring up second down. And let's give you a look here at the New England offense.
Let's be honest, about everyone in the NFL competes, but Julian Edelman, he really competes. Transitioned from a college quarterback to a slot receiver in the NFL, and he thinks that no one can cover him just by sheer force of will.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hey, 4 down. Here we go now.
They'll run it here. This is James White, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And let's run through the Dolphins' defense.
And Ndamukong Suh was an all-pro when he was with the Detroit Lions in 2013, 2014. Many people think that maybe he might either be slowing down or not playing at the same level. My eyes tell me he's still playing at an elite level, still destroying the interior of an offense, can get to the quarterback, crush a run game. You name it, Ndamukong Suh can do it. And how about how durable he is? Hasn't missed a game since 2011.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Now Brown. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big play there for Miami. 47 yards. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. The Miami Dolphins starting lineup now, and Kenyon Drake, a guy to watch.
He has the ability to affect the game in so many different ways. In the return game, bringing it back himself. Also can be a gunner on the punt coverage team and did that very well at Alabama. But has the ability to run the ball in the backfield as well as catch it. Kenyon Drake, you can use him so many different ways.
Gets around him. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And often...
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Saquon Barkley, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Sanders now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
And that is incomplete.
Watch Mike. Watch Mike. Outside's coming.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
A great return there of 22 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. All right. Intermission. Charles, you want a way to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught inside the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. And that one results in 35 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Odd. 5 down. Stand up in.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And now he'll tuck it and run. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
They don't want it.
They go option right on second. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Baker Mayfield with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Key to tight end. Set. Green 39.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, that's taken in by Gronkowski. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. His throw incomplete. Gronkowski again, he was the intended target, and now it's second down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. He'll look to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So now here come the Dolphins. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
The Pets are going to get there. Down he goes. Dante Hightower coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Mayfield now on second down. Flush to his right. Stays on his feet. And bulldozing through multiple tackles. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where you see the final score there. Teddy Bridgewater, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, let's get over to Arizona to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. That one to the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. In the game you're watching has been Baker Mayfield with a strong over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Antonio Brown, 79 yards. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Point after now from Sturgis. Sturgis for the extra point, and it's now 21-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Sanders now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Ooh.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Robert Quinn. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting him, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. An even 90 yards. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. Now Sturgis on to add the extra point. Sturgis adds the PAT, and it is 28-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Sanders now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. New England on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. Oh, had his hands on it. Couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... You know, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
They'll run it again with Barkley. Through an opening, and there he goes. Past the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Sturgis for the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Sanders now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
87's mine. I got 87.
So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Able to slither by. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
We got 3 down, 3 down. Check number 1.
Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go. It got his man complete. A big play there for the Dolphins. 44 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down, 3 down.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. Fights off the defender. Finding room to the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Double tight. Hey.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And now running right through him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Sliding out of the pocket. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more on that one and another first down. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
4 down, check.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley.
3 down, 3 down.
He's going to get it running right. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Miami, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for New England, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our